What is going on my Houndoom pack? Over the last 5 years or so, I've graded hundreds of Pokemon cards to flip them to make a big profit. And today, I want to show you my model or how I do it, so maybe that you can do it as well. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is just how I do something, and if you like it as well, then maybe you can follow suit. Also, we have a 1K subscriber giveaway for a PSA 10 Crown Zenith Pikachu and an Astral Radiance booster pack. If you would like to have a chance to win these, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel. At 1K, we'll be giving those two things to one lucky winner. So you would like to grade Pokemon cards to potentially make a pretty big profit. Well, the first step that you're going to take is to get a subscription to some sort of grading service. I personally recommend PSA. I've done majority of my submissions through PSA and have been majority of the time very happy with the outcome. And you might say, well, I want to start grading cards, but what is the entry level cost? Well, that depends on how many cards you would like to grade and how fast you would like to get them back. I would strongly advise to take a look at PSA's website and see what sort of fees that they have and study that before making your decision. I will say that I did the economy level. I'm pretty sure that's what level it is at usually that I do. And it's about, I believe, like $16 to $18 per card. I submitted 50 cards on this last submission. So you do the math on that. So you have joined a grading site and you're wondering now, well, what cards should I grade? Well, that also depends on you and how much money that you have to put into it. Personally, what I do most of the time is I grade what I classify as mid-level or mid-tier cards that also have a pretty decent demand and are pretty popular. For example, a Blastoise from the 25th Celebration set is probably under $10 for a near mint copy. I will grade that. Of course, you want to do your due diligence on screening your cards, look at centering, look at surface, look at corners. And once I screen my card, if I believe that card could get a 10, then I'll submit that Blastoise. And if we look at the market on that PSA 10 Blastoise, well, it is going probably right now for between $90 and $110 from my last look at the last solds on eBay. So what we can get from that is you can add in all the costs. Let's say looking at $17 to submit a card. You paid, let's say, $10 for the Blastoise. Well, that's $27. You might factor in a little bit of shipping costs associated or materials. But if I total spent about $30 on that card, I sell it for $100. After everything's said and done, I probably make between $25 and $30 on that card. And you might say, well, that's not really that big of a profit given turnaround times that PSA gives on their website, how slow things have been, the popularity of grading. More people are grading than ever. But if you scale that to 100 cards submitted, then I'll let you do, the math on that. And that's just one strategy that you could take, is getting a bunch of $5, $10, maybe $15 cards, submitting them. Of course, like I said, do due diligence on your screening, and you could possibly profit quite a bit on those mid-level tier cards. Moving on, you'll say, well, how long do I have to wait till I get these cards back once I grade them? Right now, I think PSA, I speak on PSA a lot because that's what I have the most experience with. You'll probably get your cards faster through CGC or someone like Tag. I wouldn't recommend grading through those grading companies, but that's just my preference. But like I said, with PSA, you could expect them to be a bit behind. Personally, my last submission was received, not went into research and ID, but received on October. It just got to research and ID this week. So I think my expected completion date is March 10th. So you also have to think about if you can tie up your funds that long, and you have to obviously weigh out risk rewards. So now that we have went through the basics and some of the strategy that I take, let's talk about recent news with grading scandals. You might think about grading in a negative way because of news that has come out as far as PSA. If you do not know exactly what I'm talking about, then I urge you to research it on your own and make your own opinion about how you feel about it. Ultimately, grading is a very risky side or avenue of making money in Pokemon cards in general. Personally, my experience over the last 5 years of grading over hundreds and hundreds of cards is that most of the time, I would say probably between 90 and 95% of the time for me, it has, pretty much doubled my money that I spent on it. Sometimes it's been more than that, triple my money. And if I'm sending 50 cards, at a grading scale of $17 per card, then spending $10 to $30 on card, well, then you can kind of do the math yourself on how much I'm profiting on each submission. I will say that this year, I only submitted one other time besides this current time, and it was one of the worst submissions that I have ever gotten back. And I've heard that that sentiment from multiple YouTubers through their videos. So maybe it might be best to wait until things calm down with the PSA stuff, or wait until a less busy time in the hobby, which seems to be on the horizon with how the market has slowed a little bit, but it may pick up because of this 30th anniversary. So just do your due diligence overall. Well, that's all for the video today, Pack. I hope you've learned something about grading. Still do your due diligence on that. Please comment below if you'd like me to do a follow-up video to this discussing in depth a part of grading, or a more in-detailed look about what I do as far as grading. As always, please subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Please check my channel description for links on places that you can shop from me or support the channel. One of those big ones, I urge you to visit my site, PokeDoom Collectibles, and then my TCG player, search the name TDS Cards INC. I appreciate your viewing, and as always, stay safe, Pack.